What's up guys, Mike here. Hey look, I wanted to do a video because I know that I reference Grant Cardone a lot in the other videos I make. And I do because I have purchased his books. I've watched them online for about 5 years, probably since 2012, 2013. And he's been a big influence on me in a positive way. And I agree with almost everything he says. There's maybe a few different points of disagreement we have, but for the most part, he's been a really good life coach, financial advisor, and I've gotten almost all the information for free. A lot of the information I get from him is from his YouTube videos, which he makes available to everyone. He doesn't even put ads on them. He has his own ads on them, but he doesn't let YouTube run ads on them. I have purchased some of his books. I have purchased his Closer Survival's Guide, 10X Rule, Sell or Be Sold, a few other of his products. I have not purchased Cardone University. But I like his products. I've spent money with him. I think that it was worth every penny of it. I'm not affiliated with him in any way. He's not paying me to make this. With my grand total of 12 subscribers, I don't think he really cares if I make this video. But I want to talk about what I've learned from Grant Cardone, because I think that the philosophies that he's taught me have been incredibly beneficial in my life, and I wish that there had been a resource like this when I was younger for me to benefit from, and there wasn't. When I was 16, YouTube, I don't even know if it existed yet. I was 16 in 2006? Yeah, I think YouTube was brand new at that point. Anyways, what have I learned from Uncle G, Grant Cardone, G City, right? Okay, number one, increase income. So what I learned from him was, look, don't settle for minimum wage. Don't settle for 10 bucks an hour, 15 bucks an hour. Always be trying to increase your income. Push it as high and as hard as you can, as quickly as you can. Make more money. Gain more value. The only way you're going to be able to do any of the other things on this list is if you first increase your income, okay? How do you learn to increase your income? One option would be to learn to sell. Okay, if you're a salesperson and you learn to get better at selling, then you're probably going to make more money. But learning to sell is a very important skill to have, not just if you're a salesperson. You need to be able to sell all sorts of different things in life. You need to be able to sell yourself in almost every single job interview that you're going to do. You need to be able to sell your ideas. When I write a ticket, I'm an officer in Washington. When I write a ticket to somebody, I'm selling them that ticket. Okay, I'm trying to give somebody a positive experience with law enforcement, okay, even though I have to write them a ticket. So how do I figure out what to do? Well, I'm just open and honest with them, okay, a little bit of transparency. And I always try to help somebody out. Hey, look, man, you were doing 23 miles an hour over the speed limit. You were doing 73 in a 50. 73 in a 50. 23 over is a little too fast, would you agree? Right, right, there's that close, there's that qualifying question, right, I learned that from Uncle G. 23 miles an hour over is a little too quick, would you agree? Running a red light is dangerous, would you agree? Driving while under the influence is an incredibly dangerous act that causes people to get hurt, would you agree? And then when you get them to agree with you, they're already thinking to themselves, all right, he's right, he's made a statement that's true. They can't possibly argue with that, of course it's true, okay? And I'm subconsciously, psychologically selling them on the impending doom that they're gonna either get a ticket or maybe be arrested. Okay? I'm trying to soften that blow by appealing to their sense of logic and reason to say, yes, what I did was wrong. And then from there, I move on to, here's what we'll do. Anytime you're doing 20 or more over, it's considered aggressive driving. How about we reduce the infraction down to an under 20 mile an hour limit to save you some money and to help keep you from being labeled aggressive? Does that sound fair? Thank you, officer. I appreciate it. Thanks for working with me. Hey, no problem, man. And I do this on almost every ticket I write, right? If I have an opportunity to reduce it, to help somebody, I do. The reason is because I know what a $200 ticket can do to somebody who doesn't make enough money, man. That can set you back 6 months. It has to me. I've written tickets before I was an officer. I drive way safer now, and I don't get pulled over anymore. But learning to sell, those books I read and those philosophies I learned have helped me in my job now. They will help you get the jobs you want. They'll help you influence people and negotiate, learn to negotiate, right? Part of the deal. Do whatever it takes. You might have to move. You might. You may have to move cities. You might have to get out of the state that you're in. Maybe you're in a state or in a city that has horrible schools and you want your kids to go to a better school, so you move from one city to a better city. That's an easy one to make. That's one you can make with your heart and your mind. But what about ones that are tough, like your entire family lives in a down economy, garbage city that's going nowhere with no jobs, and you know you need to move somewhere that's booming. You need to go to Texas. You need to go to North Dakota. You need to go to Seattle, where I live, where there's Amazon taking over. But I don't want to leave family. I don't want to, I get it, but you got to do whatever it takes. You have to work harder, work longer, work smarter, work double time, triple time, move companies, move careers, all these different things. Do whatever it takes. Invest, don't spend. Don't spend money on things you don't need. You just don't. I mean, I'm all for having a good hobby. You need that to have, something to have a release. I play a lot of soccer and I go to the gym. Inexpensive hobbies, for me at least. You need to save your money where you can. Okay, save it, not in terms of, I have a savings account and all I do is save. You need to save it so you can invest it, right? You just essentially, spend it on something smart. That's all investing is. You're spending your money on something smart, like whether it be maybe an IRA account or waiting to stack it aside to invest it into real estate, which is what I'm doing right now. I've saved about $12,000 over the last 2.5 months towards my first rental property. Okay, which I want to own a duplex or a triplex. First thing I had to do was increase my income, then learn to sell, and now I'm going to invest, not spend. Passive income. This is a huge one from Grant, right? If you want to be financially free, if you want to be successful, if you want to be a multimillionaire, you need to figure out how to develop passive income. He says that the average millionaire has 7 flows of income. And then he goes on to correct himself and says that that's a total lie. They have way more than that. And he himself says, Grant says, that he has something like hundreds of flows of income. And I'm sure he does. He's got his YouTube videos. He's got his books. He's got his book sales. He's got his 10X growth conferences. He's got his YouTube shows. He has his real estate business. He has his sales coaching business. I mean, I listed 7 and I'm not even freaking the guy. I just know these just from consuming his media and his material. If you're going to be financially free, you have to develop passive income. Dave Ramsey is wrong. For years, I listened to Dave Ramsey. I've got a whole video about how Dave Ramsey failed me. It's not that Dave Ramsey is wrong about everything. He's right about staying out of bad debt. He is right about how to get out of debt. He is wrong in his overall philosophy. And what I mean by that is Dave Ramsey is a defender. He's a defensive player. If this guy was playing on a soccer field, he would be a center back, okay, or a goalkeeper, right? He believes that the best offense is a good defense, and he's wrong about that. Save, 15-year mortgage, don't have any debt, all debt is bad debt. That's not true, okay? Dave Ramsey's right about some things, but he's wrong. Grant Cardone is an offensive-minded player. If I have the ball, the other team can't score because they don't got the ball. How are they going to put it in the freaking net if they don't got the ball? I have it. I'm going to increase my income. I'm going to invest. I'm not going to spend. I'm going to look for passive income. I'm going to push into different areas of the marketplace and constantly try to grow. You're either expanding or you're contracting. There's no middle ground. There's no room for defense. You cannot play defense. So Dave Ramsey and the advice that he gave me at a young age, some of it helped, not going into bad debt. Some of it sucked, and that was the defensive-only mentality. Develop a brand. Who are you? Who are you to your family? Who are you to your friends? Who are you to your coworkers? If a random person was walking down the street and happened to see you sit at a table outside of a Starbucks, what do they think of when they look at you? How are you dressed? What kind of tattoos do you have? Piercings. I'm not saying tattoos and piercings are bad. What's your brand? What is your brand? If you're a tattoo artist and you're trying to increase your sales in tattoos and somebody, and you want to market to more customers, then yeah, you probably are going to sit out there in a cutoff with your sleeve tattoos shown so that people will come up and say, wow, that's gorgeous, man. Yeah, I did that myself. Or my parlor did this. Why don't you come in? We can do some work for you. I mean, that makes sense. What is your brand? Is it in line with the job that you're doing? Is it going to work to better your future and help you be successful? Or is it going to work directly against you? And only you can make that that decision. What is your brand? Do you work hard? Are you known to be a hard worker who's reliable, that people can count on and people like to be around? Or are you lazy? Do you sleep in? Do you show up late? Are you always high? Are you hungover? You choose. Last thing is start. You know, what I mean by that, it could be anything. I want to make YouTube videos that help people because I wish that I had had this when I was 16, and I didn't because, well, I don't think YouTube existed. But if I had had Grant Cardone at that age, I think I would have been able to start this process 5, 6, 7 years earlier. But I didn't. And so I was slow to get started because I didn't know where to start. Because I'm one of those people, like you probably, who's a perfectionist, who says, man, I have a goal and I want to do something, but I want to do it right. I got to do it perfect. It's got to be proper. It doesn't. You just need to start. I'm using my phone propped up against a water bottle, sitting on top of a whey protein shake container to get this freaking thing angled right with a whiteboard I bought from Walgreens propped up by another whey protein freaking container right there. Like there's nothing high quality about this. My phone's a Note 5. I'm like 3 or 4 years old at this point, you know. But you just need to start somewhere, whether it be with making YouTube videos, whether it be investing in real estate, buy your first property. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing everything I can to figure out how to get my first property. And once I got that first one, I will do everything I can to figure out how to get the second property, and then the third, and then the 50th. You've got to start somewhere. Whatever it is that whatever goal you have in your mind, whatever dream you have in your mind, start today. Don't make an excuse. Don't put it off. Don't say tomorrow. Do it now, today. Make that first step in commitment. Get the ball rolling. Or you're going to look back once you have started it and say, man, why didn't I do this earlier? Why didn't I just do this earlier? God. Anyways, guys, these are the biggest things that I've learned from Uncle G. He's been a great influence on my life, and I really appreciate all of the coaching that I've gotten from him, free or paid. And we'll catch you next time, guys. Thanks for watching.